As you know, we had a great opportunity to go to the Hampton Classic. It was my first time and it was fabulous. The riding was amazing, the venue was amazing, but the one thing that really made the Hamptons Classic stand out was the food. I had an opportunity to sit down with Chris Robbins, the exclusive Eventeur for the Hampton Classic. It was Chris's 12th year at the event, and we sat down and talked about horses, hors d'oeuvres, and several decades of upscale catering to the Hamptons. Today we're at the Hampton Classic with Chris Robbins of Robbins Wolfe. Chris, 25 years in the Hamptons. How do you keep it fresh?
Well, you know, what's really interesting is that a lot of what becomes fresh is how the parties themselves evolve. And many, many years ago, back when I started here in 1981, the tables were simple, the tent was smaller, the grandstand wasn't as large. And so you really kind of go with the flow every year.
Now you've been at the exclusive Eventeur. Wait,
yes.
Eventeur is defined as one capable of coordinating a significant occurrence or happening with exquisite taste, expertise, and panache.
And absolutely.
With that in mind, what does Robbins Wolfe bring to the Hampton Classic?
We really try to match the right situation for the party that we're doing. Somebody could be having a barbecue, but the hot dog, it better be 100% beef, it better be served well, and there better not be a buffet line. There's a buffet, but nobody waiting in line.
You've been at the show for 12 years.
Yes.
What's been your favorite year here?
Interesting.
Put you on the spot a little bit.
Right.
Apart from this year, of course.
It's so hard to say that one year was better or worse than any other. I mean, last year you probably have heard it rained a lot, and you know it was very muddy and it was difficult to get around. But you know what's very interesting about that are people that are show jumping and horse people. They're used to that. They're used to that because they're used to being in stables and the weather isn't always beautiful. But in here, in the VIP tent, in the USCT tent, and over in the corporate chalets, we were just as busy because they, of course, had a tent, so that helped.
Right.
So yes, the tents are great. I would say that about 4 years ago, maybe 5, is when it really began to change, and it got to be a lot more corporate people.
Okay.
Early on, it was really a society event with social people that travel in the horse world, and so that year of transition, when there suddenly became a lot more sponsors.
Wait, corporate? Do you mean like Land Rover or Fendi, that sort of
Yes,
deal?
that sort of corporate people, corporate sponsors who came in, and suddenly the horse show took on a whole new life, and that was very exciting in that year because it got bigger. There was more going on. There was a whole new energy and electricity that started to happen.
It was high enterprise.
And many new faces in the tent.
Okay.
So that transitional year, maybe it was 6 years ago, was really very exciting. And it's been, you know, sensational before and after. But I would say that if particularly a year sticks out, it was the year of that transition.
Do you get to go to the boutique area at all?
I do. I love walking through there.
What's your favorite store?
My favorite store? Well, I have to say that I love the Hampton Classic souvenir store. So every year I get my Hampton Classic sweatshirt, and I have like 15 of them at home now.
Do you get your posters?
We get the poster. We actually, for the company, we get one that's signed by the artist because the artist is here, you know, a couple of days during the week. But I love being able to leave here with, you know, a t-shirt or a new sweatshirt. You know, a lot of people think, oh, they're going to a horse show. It's not a, you know, there's probably a few jumps and a little bleacher situation. This is a city.
No, this is a complete creation.
Yes, absolutely.
It's impressive.
Now, meanwhile, I did want to say one thing that's interesting because we're in the tent today on Wednesday, and Wednesday is a very important. Every day is important in terms of the number of competitions that are going on. But what's interesting is that there are not as many people just physically here. By Sunday, there's going to be 4,000 or 5,000 people in these 3 tents.
Just completely packed.
Just completely packed, and the grandstand, you know, will be filled to capacity. There'll be probably over 20,000 people here, on the grounds. So, you know, you're here on a good day because you can get around and you can see everything really, really well.
Do you get to watch the show at all?
I do, and in fact, I love the show. And what's tremendous about this horse show is you get to see these magnificent animals, the incredible athletes, and you get to see them jumping over these jumps that are. I went out on the field one day and I was standing next to it. They're my height. They're like 6 feet tall. It's like crazy.
It's intimidating.
It is. You know, when you're looking from this perspective out at the field, any of these fields. I mean, certainly the Hunter Ring is a little different because of the rules are different there. But certainly in the Grand Prix show jumping ring, those horses, I ride by them all the time, constantly as I'm running around the grounds on my golf cart, and they are impressive. Just watching them is really sensational and wonderful to be part of. And I've loved it from day one, and I will continue to love it as long as I'm here working here.
Every episode, we have what we call HorseGirl Mail. Viewers
Okay.
write in and ask questions, and I'm racking my brain, like, what can I ask? Chris, this is a food episode on HorseGirl TV. What can
Yes.
I ask? Well, Christy from Florida writes in,
Hi, Christy.
what is a good meal after a good ride?
Well, that's interesting because, I think that whenever we're planning something and we know that the riders are going to be coming into the tent later after they've been working all day, it seems to be all about protein. They have been working very hard. People think, oh, riding a horse, it's not easy, as I'm sure you and all of your viewers know. It is a tremendous amount of work. I think there's a misconception out there that horse riding is kind of easy. I think it's not. And it's really about having, some protein and a lot of water.
Okay.
And everything better be cold. It better be, it better be plenty of ice.
So hydrate.
Hydrate, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, but also, if they won or if they were in a good position, having champagne, that's always very important.
The relaxation after the ride.
Yes, exactly.
I hear that.
Don't forget to send your questions to mail@horsegirltv.com, and you could be featured on a future episode.
And now we're gonna serve lunch.
Okay.
So I hope you'll all stay and join us.
Okay. Thanks again to Chris Robbins and all the people that make the Hampton Classic so much fun. You stay classy, Hampton Classic.
This episode of HorseGirl TV has been made possible in part by Encanto Valley Farm, quality hunters and jumpers.